Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Cork in the North. This week's episode brought to you by no sponsor yet. We have no sponsor, and we are worried about the lights being kept on. Yeah. We did mention last week on the podcast that we're looking for a sponsor, and also we just want to progress. You know, the numbers in this podcast are absolutely getting good, really good.
They're getting good.
They're getting good.
Yeah.
They're getting good. We've got thousands of people listen every week, and we just want to move it into the next level now.
Yeah.
So if you know anyone that wants to sponsor us, please let us know. Get in touch. And also, if you want an extra episode, 3 extra episodes a month for £3, that works out at £1 a month. Not £1 a month. It works out at £1 a show.
The mathematics is flying out of you today, isn't it?
No wonder we can't keep the lights on, because I can't even add up.
Yeah.
This podcast is probably in profit, and all I keep seeing is minuses. Yeah. So for £3 extra a month, you can get 3 extra episodes, which works out at £1 an episode on the Patreon. Patreon.com/Cork in the North. All on the Instagram, all on the link tree. It's all there. It's very simple if you just Google it or message us if you can't sign up. There's over 20 episodes there as well. We will be announcing the date for the live show next week. We are just about to finalise it. It's going to be in May. It's going to be on a Sunday, we think, and it's going to be at 3:00, coffee and cake. So if people want to come on a Sunday for a live podcast in an afternoon, I think it's a good way forward for us in terms of getting people in to do something different on a Sunday afternoon, rather than having to go out on a night out and buy drinks and get taxis home and all that kind of stuff. You can drive in, park up, watch the show, and be home by 5:00, really. You'd be like, I went to see a live podcast. It was great. And that's what we're going to be doing. So if you want to sign up for pre-release tickets, you can sign up to the Patreon, where you will get up to 65% off the price of the tickets if you're a member of the Patreon. So listen, there's loads of extra benefits, and there's nudes.
Yeah.
Nudes.
None of us.
It's not of us. There's no nudes of us.
Dave Elliott has someone there. We got Kieran Bartlett's up there coming soon. Sean's
got a couple of nudes.
Sean's got a couple on there.
So whatever. Listen, it's the OnlyFans of Patreon.
It's It's the dad buds.
We're getting there now.
OnlyFans.
So we're back this week, ladies and gentlemen, and this is the first time me and Aaron have ever done a podcast together where we've had another guest, unless it was on the Patreon, which is £3 a month.
There we go. We
did one with Dave Elliott, but we now, ladies and gentlemen, me and Aaron are joined by my co-presenter.
Wow.
On Q Radio.
He's great at introductions.
I'm trying to say either former presenter or was my presenter. So Amy, ladies and gentlemen, who I worked with on the radio, on Q Radio, when I did my 4-day trial.
Your stint.
My stint on Q Radio a couple of weeks ago. Amy was one of the co-presenters with Decky, and also does the traffic and does the banter. Amy, thank you so much for coming on the podcast.
Thank you for having me.
You're a massive fan of the podcast, I heard.
Yes, love the podcast.
And how often have you listened to it?
I've listened to a good few episodes. So I haven't listened from the very start, but I can work my way
I don't even listen. I don't even watch my own podcast.
You don't listen
sometimes.
to it back?
I do, but I do sometimes. Yeah, just to get to see if I've said anything that's libelous or.
Oh well, there is. I can answer you that right away.
And this is the first time you two have met.
Yeah.
Have you ever known each other before?
Never. I never knew Amy existed until I stepped into this room today.
Unbelievable.
And now I know there's an Amy, and she's in my life now. I'm happy to have her in my life. I tell you that much. Okay?
Jesus Christ!
Hey, Amy, it's all good. It's all good. So what way? Give me the structure of breakfast show, because I know you're saying like co-presenters and stuff like that, and you were in there, blah blah blah. What is like the foundation of it? I know Decky's involved, but give me like a structured sort of idea.
Okay, well, Declan's been in there for I think a couple of years now, so I've only been in just over a month. But Declan starts early in the morning, so he's in 6:00. Show starts. He's in. I don't have to rock in until 7, so it's not.
I used to rock in at 6, lads.
Yeah,
of course you did.
Full time, part time. We're over here.
Of course you did. Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't have to go in until then, and then I just sort of nip in and out. Like we'll do a bit of chat, and then I do the traffic. So every 20 past 22, nice. 20 past 22. Okay. We traffic update in there, and then just have a.
Do your traffic voice. Do your traffic.
Do I have a voice? See, I don't know if I have.
Move that a little bit
voice.
Closer to you there as well.
Here?
Yeah, just move it all right up to you. Yeah.
There you go.
So do the traffic. So what was the cue that Decky used to do for the traffic? Because now we go to Amy for the traffic, isn't it?
There's like a wee
jingle.
tone a wee jingle that goes on, and then I start doing the traffic. But I don't think I do a different voice, but maybe I do.
No, you don't. I don't. Because
He hasn't heard it.
I've never listened to the show.
Even when I was on Q Radio, I said to him, like, have you listened to it? He was like, no.
He didn't even listen to Andre.
Nope.
No interest. He doesn't even listen to his fucking
Here's why, Amy. See, radio to me, right? It's like softcore porn, right? Because here's the thing.
4 minutes in.
Because here's the thing. It's watered down. Softcore porn is just watered down real porn. Radio is just watered down personalities because you're all great, but I want to hear more smut and dirt on the radio. I think that's what it is. I want to hear Andrew say a wee curse word here and there.
You can't do that.
Exactly, and that's why it's watered down.
Because you are bound by broadcasting and Ofcom rights.
Yeah.
You are sick of you can't live in a, you need to learn to live in a society, Aaron, where there's rules and boundaries, and you have no rules and boundaries.
You're on the school run. You can't be saying things that are
Can't be
bad.
saying on
Don't let the
Scroll.
kids listen to it then. Put music on. Let me listen to it. Adult, you know what I mean? Fuck
An
the
after
kids.
hours one.
No, but it's
Or make a separate.
That's why
radio
there's
station.
podcasts. This is
Make
why
a
there's
separate
podcasts.
radio
This
station
is why
for
there's
the kids.
podcasts.
Yes, but there wasn't podcasts before. There was just normal radio.
There are podcasts. What about having a podcast radio station? That's
Absolutely.
literally
It goes
just
live,
podcasts.
yeah.
America has
Throughout
that.
the day. Did it?
Of course.
So what do they do? So give me an example of how that works.
They have a station called Sirius XM who have like a sports podcast and radio station. They have different genres. They have entertainment, comedy.
So
and
the
they just
podcasts
all
all
day.
move, so basically like from 7 to 9 you might have a politics podcast.
Yeah.
And then from say 9 to 11 you might have whoever has a popular sports podcast. It's literally just podcast. There's no music.
Yeah.
And are you allowed to do your
Talk radio, it's called.
There's a talk radio in England, isn't there?
Maybe. I'm sure there is. Yeah. There's loads of them.
There should be a radio station in the north for podcasts.
But there should be. Look, I want to
School run Mudblood in the morning.
Jesus.
Yeah, wee bastard. You know?
I wanted just a frequency where it's no not no regulation because you don't want people like doing anything really really bad, but like just like a normal chat or whatever it would be. Yeah. But look, that's why I don't listen to breakfast radio.
69 hertz.
1669.
Love that from you, Sean.
Yeah,
You've got my back.
What stations on the 1916 FM?
Yeah.
You know, do stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like, and now we pause for the Angela. Yeah, now we pause for the Angelas. Well, we remember the War of Independence. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
But yeah, this is hardcore porn right here.
This is
podcast.
unfiltered access.
Raw.
This is raw.
Right.
Yeah.
Have you ever done a podcast before, Amy?
I've done one before, but it was on Zoom, so this is a bit of a different
So
experience.
you were on. So what was that podcast about?
It was about me, and I have a food blog, by the way. So
Amy does food blogging.
It was all about my food blogging. Yeah, I was just chatting about food for an
Right. So
hour.
we've had food bloggers on here before.
Yes.
Talk to me about your food blogging. So there is this new genre. Like, do you remember back in the 80s, you'd say to somebody like, oh, what do you do for a job? And they're like going, oh, I'm a social worker. Oh, I'm a nurse. Oh, I'm a cleaner. These fucking traditional fucking jobs. I work down the mine. I'm a mechanic. I'm a painter and decorator. I lift wood.
Yeah.
Like whatever they do, right?
Yeah, the
and
wood
now
lifters.
and now you go like, what do you
Big
do? I
genre.
go, what do you do for a job? Well, I talk about the sauce that I got on my peri peri chicken. Like, you know what I mean? Like there's this,
I
there's
don't
a
do it
whole
for a
new,
job,
there's a
though.
whole new, no, but like there are people that do it for a job.
Yeah.
It's like these all new jobs that have been created. So tell me, what do you do in your food blog, and what will we get out of it if we?
I just do it for a laugh, really. Like, I'm not really serious about it or anything. It's not that. But I do, like, I just love food and go out and take photos of it everywhere. I'm one of those annoying people that'll be like, right, everybody stop whenever the food comes out, and I'll take a photo of it. And then, well, my boyfriend's a really, really good cook, so I just video him cooking. Like,
how-
I can cook, I just don't really cook. He does a lot of the
And
cooking.
how did you
I
meet?
video
Is
it.
that through food?
No, it was through work.
Oh, you worked. Yes, you worked
Yes, it was
together.
through
Yes,
work.
you told me
And
this.
then,
Yeah.
And then I just found out that he could cook, so bonus.
So when you find out if a man cooks,
Oh yeah, it's a massive
Oh,
bonus.
that's a
write
massive
that
bonus.
one down there, mate.
Oh no, I refuse to do it because of that.
No, I'm going to write that one down.
I don't want to hang around, Andrew.
So what do I need to do?
You'll
I
be
need to.
hanging around for
I
dinner
need.
then,
I need to cook. Is it?
Yeah,
Okay,
you need to be a good cook.
Yeah.
Next week you're going to see me as a chef.
Oh, he'd be in,
I'm going to be in here,
chef.
I'm
Whites we had
going
on.
to big chef white
Ratatouille,
next week.
fucking.
I'm going to be in here next week going, now, as a chef.
Yeah.
One
you
thing I
will.
love about the kitchen.
Yeah.
You absolutely will.
So when you do your food blog, do you review restaurants?
Yeah, I sort of review restaurants, but you know what? I never know how honest to be about it.
Right.
Because you know you want to be nice, and like I want to be one of those. I want to be getting invited places and stuff.
Do you get invited places?
No, not yet, but maybe I want to do that. But then, if you say, "Oh, this was horrible," like nobody's going to invite you back.
See, I won't. No,
But then you know what?
don't tell it to Gordon Ramsay. He gets invited back everywhere, and
True.
he hates everyone.
And I want to know if somewhere's crap. Like I want to know.
I
Would
think,
you deliberately go somewhere for a bad experience that you know is a bad experience?
No, like I'm only going places I think are going to be good. But sometimes everybody hypes it up, and you go, and you're like, "What was that about?"
Yeah.
Do you know where I went on Sunday? I went down to Ballyhackmore and I went to Squid Shack. Is it?
Oh, I've seen videos of it. Yeah.
Oh my god!
Good.
Oh my!
Did you get squid?
Oh, I tell you now. I'm trying to remember what I got.
Wow! Wow!
Oh, not good.
Dementia setting in early.
I went to Ballyhackmore, is it?
Yeah.
Ballyhackmore.
But Ballyhackmore, which is like banging Belfast actually sounds like somewhere in the country.
It does, yeah.
Anything with a bally is country, really, to me.
Yeah.
So I'd never been before. Squid Shack, Ballyhackmore. Went in. They closed at 7 o'clock. Went in at about 5:45. Ordered. It was two of us. Me and Joe. Me and my lovely
Love
Joe.
how that has to set it up, just so people don't know you were there alone.
Can you imagine me just
two
sitting
of
there
us.
on my own?
Yeah, yeah.
There's two of us.
Just
All
go
right.
shack alone.
There's two of us.
Oh, I'd eat at a restaurant alone.
I always
Get it,
eat in
right?
restaurants on my own.
We've already talked about this.
Yeah,
We're
see,
comfortable,
I'm
we're-
rubbish at that. No, I
We're
feel
losers.
We are. We're,
No, but I want to be able to do that. Like, I want to be one of those people who go on holiday on my own, but I just don't.
I've been on holiday, man.
I haven't.
Twice.
I haven't.
I've been to Disney World.
No, you haven't.
Yeah, this year.
You went Disney World on his own this year.
Yeah,
That's
in
why we
January.
need to get a relationship expert in here to find out where we're going. I know where I'm going. I'm cooking.
Yeah, you're not cooking enough.
So went into
Squid Shack?
Squid Chef. Squid Shack.
Good chef. That's you. That's going to be you
Squid
next
Shack.
week.
You
Squid
get your
Shack.
brain on
Went
today.
into Squid. I don't
Yeah.
have my brain on today.
Yeah.
Went into Squid Shack, and I was a bit like, oh god, you get like, I went in, ordered, took a bit of had the chicken,
You
and
had the Squid Shack and had the chicken.
Oh, what's that about?
yeah, well we had
Amy.
we had
Don't
squid
know
and
about that.
chicken. We
Okay,
mixed and
okay.
matched, like,
Squickin'?
we squicking.
Chigged? No.
And I did.
tried
Do you ever
my
have a
hardest.
meal? Do you ever have a meal where you don't want it to end?
Yeah, all the time.
Yeah. And I just didn't want it to end.
Okay.
It was so beautiful, and the sauces and just everything, and every all the staff were really nice, and like and you're sitting, and it was so busy as well, like on a Sunday at like 6 o'clock.
Oh, yeah.
And like you think Sunday's the classic sort of family dinner and the roast and all that. Oh no, fucking
Roast squid.
single dads in there, man.
Oh,
Just
yeah?
fucking straight at it.
There you go.
You know what I mean?
Maybe a
But yeah,
hangover
Squid
spot,
Shack, absolutely top drawers. Have you been?
No,
there?
that's next on the list.
So you need to go to Squid Shack.
Yeah.
Honest to God, I highly recommend it. Have you done it yet?
Is this the start of Andrew's food blog?
Maybe.
yeah,
Well, now
yeah.
that I've told him you need to be good at cooking, now all of a sudden he's really into food.
Yeah, like
I haven't been to Squid Shack. I went to a Peculiar Tea this weekend.
Down to go there. Was it good?
Really, really good.
what's
yeah.
the peculiar tea?
Yeah, so they specialise in afternoon tea. They have a tasting menu in the evenings, but they specialise in afternoon tea.
That's a good place to go on a day.
Oh, it actually
It
is.
would
Now,
be.
what I will say is, trying to get a booking, you're going to be waiting.
Did you ring up with your little gold bank card?
No, I rang up months ago and was like,
Is it very hard to get in?
Well, yeah, they're really booked out. Like, well, it depends on if you can go during the week. I think it's easier, but if you want like a weekend,
Oh, I only go to these things during the week because I
Aye.
work at the weekend.
you'll
so.
probably be able to get a week reservation, like easy enough. But weekend, but yeah, the service was great, like unbelievable service. Food was the nicest sausage roll in my life.
Oh,
I
you went for the
fucking-
afternoon tea. You didn't go for the
Yes, I
dinner?
went for the afternoon tea. Yeah. Oh, this sausage roll, I fucking
Beats a Greg's, does it?
Yeah. What, way, and yeah. Although it was just great.
Yeah.
And they give you all different. There was a creme brulee tea.
Oh, nice.
What world are
What
we
a
living
world we're living
Wow.
in.
Oh.
Fucking creme brulee
Kids
tea.
in Africa can't get water, but I have creme brulee
Brulee
tea,
tea.
and that's important. That's more important than anything. I'm only joking. I help them too.
He works out in Africa.
I do actually as well. Amy,
Do
what a
you?
life I've lived.
Wow.
I
He
He
tell
works
you.
in
Amy.
Africa, yeah.
Yeah.
He goes
What a
out and
life.
he helps install water in African
Water
villages.
filters.
Do
I work with companies who basically build and then distribute water filters to third world countries all around the world. So it
So they're
means
doing third world countries, so he's in Larne next.
I mean, yeah. I go, hey,
hey, come at me! Come at me!
Hey, can't relax. All right, no worries. Focus that aggression into somewhere. All right,
Go on.
The relationship coach will help us with that.
Okay.
It's all right. You're
Cooking
good.
and peculiar tea, they're the top two tips I have.
Oh, honestly, it was really. You should get it. You should go in.
Aaron
You really
is.
like it.
Aaron will be an MBE or an OBE soon.
Yeah.
Wow.
Even though he won't accept it because he's from West Belfast, but he'll be one of them.
Yeah.
He'll be an OBE
Wow.
for services to water.
Yeah,
Very good. Lots of water services then.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
should do a water block. You should do a water block.
Well, look, Amy,
He drinks water out of a
Cans of
can.
water.
This is
Ooh.
this is the only way I'll drink it, Amy.
Why?
You know what I mean?
Does it taste any different?
Tastes. Well, no, it tastes like that, but
Amy, working class, middle class.
yeah.
Well, that's eco-friendly, sort of.
Exactly.
Recyclable can.
Yeah, but I'm working class. I don't read.
Do you reuse that
regular,
bottle?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is my. This no. This is a new
No,
one.
it's a new one. But he usually does reuse it because I've seen you reuse loads. That's regular card. This is gold card. You know what I mean? That's the way it is. I have a subscription to this. This arrives at my house in a 24-pack once a month on Amazon.
Okay,
Yeah.
no,
That's really great.
24
And
pack
that-
of water.
and that Amazon van is fully electric, isn't it?
Don't care. As long as it gets me this to my house,
Gets you hydrated.
that's all that matters. But yeah, water zero this is, I think.
So, Amy, can I ask you, where did your boyfriend do the cooking? Where did he learn to cook? How do you learn to
He's
cook?
just really good cook. He doesn't
Self-taught?
learn anywhere. Yeah.
He's self-taught.
Yeah,
Is he grown up in a family of bakers or
he's
something?
worked in a pub for a few years, and then I think he picked up bits and bobs, and loads of his friends are chefs. One of his friends used to be a chef. You ever been to the Muddlers Club?
Yes, I've had the tasting menu there.
It's the best meal
You
I've
don't
ever
eat
had.
menus. You just have tasting
The
menus.
taste menu's the best.
But tasting menus are great, yeah.
You get a load of everything.
It's like 6 small
It's like
plates.
6 small courses, but I love the service of it all. I like the showmanship, Andrew, and that's what happens in the tasting menu.
Yeah.
You know, they treat you like you are something. You know what I mean? Instead of a fucking low life scumbag that I actually am, they fucking and they run you. They're like, "Would you like me to explain the dish?" And I always go,
Yes.
"I would."
Oh my god!
I would like
That
you to explain the
That
dish.
would give me the ick.
No, it's unreal.
Gives me the ick when they don't do it.
Yeah.
In fact, there's
You know,
times
you know
when
the people that do that with the wine. They put the
Well,
wine
there's a
under their
sommelier too.
nose.
wine to the nose.
I actually would walk. I actually hate that.
Yeah, I don't drink, so I can't relate to that.
Oh, right. Well, you can get a wine pairing with each, and I've got
you do?
that.
Yes, that's right.
Oh, of course
It's
you have.
really nice.
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
the sommelier comes out, but I don't really know what they're talking about. I'm not like really into my wine or anything. But the sommelier comes out and says, and this is from here, and this is going to taste like this. And you go, and then you drink it.
And that's how wine works.
It's great.
So, are you with the two of you? Are you into your posh restaurants? both of
Yeah.
You
but
would be
I like
more-
everything. Like, I like everything.
Yeah.
Would you have a KFC at 2 a.m? Like
Yes. Oh, yes.
steaming drunk, like?
100%. Kebabs and everything.
And what about you? But you like your comforts, don't you? You're like me. I like comfort.
Yeah, I like a bit of both. Let me experience both sides of the world. Let me experience the highest of highs and the lowest of lows.
Where's the poshest place you've ever eaten?
The Armani Hotel in Dubai in the Burj Khalifa. I had afternoon tea in there, up in 200 stories high or whatever.
What was that like?
I mean, everything you would imagine, just unbelievable. It was fancy as fuck, like. But it was great. It was all the food was amazing, like.
And did you have to book that in advance?
Yeah, but I didn't book it. The co-worker I was with booked it.
Wow. And we were up there for 3 hours.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
they just do everything for you.
Yeah, and they for some reason every food has like this wee smoky thing and all on it to do the smoke or whatever. It's like all fancy and stuff, and it's like a show. It was class.
Do you know what? I've been to Dubai like 5 times. I've never once. I just looked at the Burj Khalifa and I went, I'm not going up.
I'd love to go to
Couldn't
Dubai.
be arsed.
The elevator is scary as fuck because like obviously it goes up like I don't know what 200 stories or something, and when you're on the ground floor and the elevator just takes you up to like 180th floor in like 10 seconds, it's like. You feel the building, like, and when you're on that top floor as well, like you can feel a wee
Bit of wind.
bit of wind, like, and you're like, oh.
And what's it like? Can you see the coast of Dubai? Like you see
You can
into the
see
desert?
everything, yeah, you can see everything.
Can you see this? Wow. And you can see the whole palm and all that kind of stuff.
I don't think you can see the palm from the Burj, but I was on the palm. But yeah,
I stayed on the Palm in December. The Palm Hotel.
that's a great place to stay.
Yeah, I stayed when I was there for 10 days, like doing gigs, you know. And they move you different hotels. So like the first night we were there, we stayed in the Movenpick, which is on Jumeirah Beach, which is nice, really nice. I've stayed there a few times before, and it's like 4 nights we stayed in the Movenpick. It was great. Met the Saudi Arabian football team when they got kicked out of the World Cup. They were in the bar. They weren't drinking, but they were there. And just to clarify, I don't know why I need to clarify whether they were
You're afraid they're going to come for you, lads.
They weren't drinking. They were proper.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
were respecting their life.
Yeah.
And then we moved to Media City, and they put us in like what would be kind of classed as like a juries. So it's a bit of a come down. Like you go from like,
But is their jury's way better than ours?
oh yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, you like the hotel. You're like, if this is 3-star, this 3-star is 4.5-star
Yeah.
in Ireland. And then we went to the Palm, and I stayed in the Palm, and I remember just looking out at the branches, you know, like and at night time you look out, you see all the houses on the Palm, and none of them have lights on. I was like, is there anyone actually living in them? And I remember saying to one of the people involved in the gig, does actually anybody actually? I said, no, a lot of these people they just buy it, and
they just have it.
they might live in America and they just bought it and they visit it only 2 or 3 times a year. So it's actually this most exclusive resort to live in
more
the world,
empty then.
and people just have it as a hobby.
Yeah, I do like the Palm. There's a water park on it. That's
Yeah.
great.
Have you been to Dubai?
No, I'm dying to go to Dubai.
I think Dubai would suit you.
Oh, I would love
I
Dubai.
could see you doing like Q Radio Dubai in the morning.
Yeah,
Traffic.
pitch that. Definitely pitch that.
The Burj Khalifa is fucked.
Yeah,
Busy
yeah.
everywhere.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the elevator in the Burj.
Absolute massive queue. There's been an accident on the queue to the elevator.
Yeah,
in the
yeah,
Burj.
yeah, yeah.
2 white guys from West Belfast are desperately up there going, you fucking gay.
Yeah.
I'll show you crap, mate. You fucking, you won't get this down in fucking Boucher Road. Like, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah.
So tell me, so how did you get into the radio and stuff like that?
It's something I've wanted to do for so
What did you do in college?
long.
Start off, what did you do in college?
I did business management because I didn't really know what I
What
wanted to do.
uni did you do?
Queen's.
Queens.
Oh, Queen's.
I
That's
went
the
to
good one,
Queen's.
isn't it? That's the good one.
Well, they're all
all
fine.
good.
They're all.
Is
the
Ulster
It's all the
University
same.
the university where you go when your parents like forget to pick you up from school?
No,
and stuff?
that's Belfast Met.
Oh, was there a Met here as well? Oh, is
Yeah,
Belfast Met the one? That's the
Tech.
one I would have gone.
That's
to.
the tech.
That was the tech, yeah.
Sean, which one did you go to?
I didn't go to uni.
Didn't go because McDonald's
See?
doesn't need education. It's got it all up here, mate.
Exactly.
It's got it all up here.
Agreed.
It's got it all up
Waste
here.
the money.
Yeah, well,
Waste
I
money.
haven't really used mine now, to be honest. So
No.
it doesn't
So you
really-
did 3 years business management.
3 years business management, and then I used to work for Red Bull, so then that got me into marketing.
So what were you doing
I
at
used
Red
to
Bull?
love the Red Bull girls.
Yeah, that
back
was
in
nice.
Were
uni.
you a Red Bull girl? What does
Yeah.
a Red Bull girl
They
do?
just hand out Red Bull.
Yeah, I
And
had
it's-
unlimited Red Bull for years.
Oh, it's the best.
But like, what do you do? Like,
You go to events and hand out Red Bull, and you try and find all the different places that there's going to be people drinking Red Bull, and then you basically go around to give it out. So you'll go to like gyms, you'll go to people studying in uni, fresher stuff.
like parties.
trying to get them hooked on Red Bull, basically.
Yeah, like
Yes.
get people into Red Bull and get give them energy when they need it, and then next time they
Give
go,
them
okay.
energy when they need it. What does that mean?
Like all those different times you'll need energy. So like,
Yeah.
when you're studying, when you're at the gym, when you're partying, whatever. And then the next time they go, oh, here, I'm going to get a Red Bull again. And that's the sort of idea. So it was unbelievable. It was so fun. And you got a Red Bull mini too.
Did you? When you did that, was it all girls doing it?
It was girls, but there's guys now.
yeah, equality.
Quality.
Keep going,
Keep
fellas.
going, lads.
Just wee boys in tight hot
And-
pants.
There was no hot pants. It was big coats.
for the fellas,
and
there should be.
It was not
Did
like
you
it wasn't
get-
like a ring girl like bikini or
Yeah,
anything like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
It was like
Were you
Much
getting,
classier.
Were you getting a lot of cheesy lads at you?
no,
Coming up to you like, oh, do you want to go for a date?
no, no.
That's not how I ask anyone out, by the way.
Well,
We won't talk
apparently
about the last
not,
time
but-
I asked someone out. Remember that?
I don't.
I
no.
did on. Oh, we'll talk about it later.
We'll talk
It's
about.
fine.
I can't remember.
Alright,
We'll talk
okay.
about that.
I asked a girl out in Belfast last year, would she like to go for dinner, and she just ignored me.
Oh, you told me about it.
Yeah.
It happens.
Fuck.
You can't win them all, mate.
Is she happy now?
Okay, yeah.
I still follow her on Instagram.
Probably is.
Oh.
She's having a Red Bull today.
She's having a Red Bull.
What?
So you
yeah.
did that for years. Is that a
Yeah.
full-time job?
No, it was just through uni, just part time.
Oh, in the
So
evenings.
did that when I was in uni.
And were
yeah.
you living in halls or living at home? Because you're
I
from
li-
Belfast.
Yeah, I lived, at Rugby Road.
Oh yeah.
I
I,
lived
had
in
friends
Rugby
that lived
Road.
in Rugby Road.
Yeah.
That's where I met the Red Bull girl when she gave me Red Bull in Rugby Road.
Well,
Could've been me.
it could've been-
No, it was.
Oh, no.
As you were only a figment of my imagination back then.
Oh, well, there's a bit of an age gap between us.
Yeah. It's because you were. I've always wanted to know this because you had all the access to Red Bull. Did you have to find yourself and to wean yourself off Red Bull at a certain point because you had so much of it?
No, I only would have drank it like when I was working out and about, and then that would have been it. At the start, I used to drink it on a night out, like every single drink I would have mixed with Red Bull. 'cause,
Vodka Red Bull, isn't
it? was
it?
unlimited
Big drink
Red Bull.
here.
If you were a Red Bull girl, would you get unlimited drinks?
We had unlimited Red Bull constantly, and the car used to get robbed and
That's
stuff.
dangerous,
It was,
like-
yeah.
The Red Bull car would get robbed.
all the time, yeah,
Why?
because it's fridges at the back, so the front two seats are normal seats, and then the back two seats are a fridge that you open and you just pour the Red Bull in, and then it was good fun.
Imagine having an MOT that car.
I had to go to the MOT one.
Well, like, let's check in fridges, love.
So you got into the marketing through them. So you finish uni, you've got a business management degree. Because I often see these people, not some people, like they do degrees. Oh, what did you do? I did 3 years in geography. I'm like, what the fuck are you going to do with that?
I did marketing.
Yeah, but you
Oh,
kind of
similar
work
to
in
me.
that kind of
I
stuff.
guess,
Yeah,
yeah,
but
I'm a
like,
genius.
what do you? Like, Norway has 12,000 kilometers worth of coastline, and fishing is their biggest industry.
Yeah.
What the fuck is that going to do?
What
How's
do
that
you
going to
do-
pay my mortgage?
What do you do with a history degree?
What do you do
Apart
with
from a
history?
historian.
I used to have a routine about people who did a history.
Wipe your
degree.
hole.
No, do you know what you do with history? Save yourself $9,000 a year and just Google what happened.
Yeah.
And it would be just Hitler.
Yeah.
Something about the DUP.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
all it is.
Yep. That's fair.
So you do that because I often. Do you ever like when I was growing up as a kid, and I don't know if you did this,
As
but,
opposed to growing up as an adult.
when you haven't grown up yet.
No.
When you grow up, Aaron, you let me
Yeah.
know.
Oh, never.
But whenever
Peter
I'd watch
Pan.
people doing the news on the RT News or the BBC News, or people doing the radio in the morning or doing the weather or whatever, I always say to myself, how do you get that job? Like, and then you see people doing voiceover for like adverts or documentary voiceover. Like, how do you actually get into that? Because there's no college course for it. There's no sort of. So people always ask you, like, how did you just fall into it? So how did you go from Red Bull business management to where you are now? How did that come?
It's always been in my head, and then I thought, you know what, I'm just going to go for it. You just have to reach out to people. So I just messaged a million trillion people. How do you get into it? How do you get into it? Yeah, because they don't advertise jobs or anything.
Yeah.
And then I did community radio for a while. So
How did you get into community radio?
Just message the guy who owns
Blast 106.
Blast
is that
106.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, so there you go. And
So
then I
you
was
got
doing
it.
it for a
So
while.
you messaged Blast 106. You're like, hi, I'm really interested. Do you have any spots going for as a presenter or what? Like,
Yeah, so if you're looking to be a presenter, it's a really good experience. So it's a gateway in sort of to get you experience on air, and then did that for a while and just kept sending demos.
and where would you record the demos?
At home. They were really bad quality. When I listen
So
back
you would,
now, I'm embarrassed.
where would you get a script? Like, how would you get a
You
script?
just make it up. You just say as if you're doing a link, you know, sort of like an example. But I listen to it back. I'm like, that's not what you say.
Oh yeah, like some of the stuff I see.
And it really wasn't that long ago, and I'm like, oh dear. But yeah, you just sort of put yourself out there, and then it was actually the podcast that I did before, got picked up by Q, and then that was it.
Yeah, because I think they scout. They do a lot of scouting around. That's how they found me.
Yeah.
Do you know?
Yeah,
There
they
you go.
prey on vulnerable older men.
Are you a vulnerable older man?
Play very.
I'm the oldest. I'm the oldest. I'm the oldest
middle child.
middle child,
Yeah.
and then the youngest.
Yeah.
We're like 3 different generations
Yeah,
here. Like,
yeah. What a scope.
what a scope! I think it was like
yeah.
living alone, living alone,
Living at home.
living at home. You will never buy a house, Amy.
I know.
In this economic climate, you will never buy a house. So you do all that, and it's kind of like, did business management teach you about, like, what did business management actually teach you?
Don't know. Don't know if you feel the same about marketing degree, but it's because I didn't know. So it was like, right, what's really broad? And I was like, everything's a business, so we'll just do business management. And it was just broad.
So they're talking about like costs, staffing costs,
Yeah, there's,
PR,
like, every bit.
marketing,
Yeah.
health and safety, government guidelines, how to rent a property.
Oh no, we wouldn't get really practical things
No,
like that.
no.
No, what
It's
is
more
it?
like the theory behind marketing, the theory behind this.
So the theory behind marketing is to get people to buy your product, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
Marketing's everything, Andrew. This is what
Yeah.
I learned in my degree. It's everything. From the moment you pick up that phone to the moment you clock out, that's marketing.
Oh.
That honestly, that's the sort of way.
But there's a part of me inside of me that's a bit like going,
dead.
like, if you're a stand-up comedian,
I mean, there is. there. I mean, but
I've been dead
look,
for years. Man.
yeah.
It's my birthday tomorrow, by the way. I'm
gosh,
fucking furious about it.
45. Eh?
No, fuck, we're all 45.
Sorry.
Are you 45 tomorrow?
Are you fucking mental, Amy?
Well, she believed
No,
We don't get my broad age. Are you
He
40,
has his
40 what
podcast
are you,
age and he has his
42?
real age.
no, I'm not 42, Amy.
No, on the podcast, he's 41 or whatever, but real life, we'll talk about it.
I'm 41 tomorrow.
Oh,
I thought you already told me you were 41.
I'm 40. No, I'm 41 tomorrow. I'm 41 this year. Maybe I said that to you. Like,
yeah.
I'm 41 tomorrow.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Hey, happy birthday. This counts as my birthday, do you?
Yeah, you've said it now.
Because I'll forget tomorrow.
Yeah, and it's my birthday tomorrow. Do you know what I'm doing tomorrow? I'm going to a wedding fair.
Oh, why?
Oh?
Why are you going to a wedding for?
I'm helping out in a stall.
Yeah, I was going to say, you're
I
not
was
going
like,
for
oh,
any other
any
reason.
plans?
Then I've got to go and do the Empire at Cookstown. Empire on the road.
Oh, sounds like a riot at Cookstown. Whereabouts in Cookstown?
Where is Cookstown?
It's in Tyrone.
How far drive is it?
It's about, from your house, it would be
45.
about an hour.
That's
and a bit.
perfect. Yeah, that suits me.
Yeah, it's not too bad.
So on my birthday tomorrow, I went home to Cork at the weekend, and I saw my family, and I saw my nieces and nephews who have attitude.
Oh.
They have serious attitude now. They're grown up.
Yep.
Their attitude. My nephew made his confirmation, right? What would you give someone that makes a confirmation, money-wise, on average?
Well, at the minute, I would say, because of inflation, when I did it, I think I got like 10 to 20.
I would get 10 to 20 pounds.
Yeah.
Irish pounds.
Yeah.
So that's whatever. Like whatever.
Now I think it
12
has to
euro.
be in the 35 to 50 range.
50 quid I gave.
Yeah, you have to give 50, don't you?
It's 50 euro
Suppose.
now.
50's the new 20.
50 euro for the confirmation, right? And I handed my nephew the 50 euro, and he's there with his black nightcap on and his jacket, and like he's all too cool for school, right?
Richer than you. 'cause
And
of
I'm
all
like,
these cards,
I
yeah.
used to see you in nappies, and I'm like, hey man, how'd you get on the confirmation? Yeah, fine. I'm like, okay. And I just said to him, like, how much did you make? You know, because that's what you ask in the confirmation.
Well, that's what
how
you
much?
ask.
How much did you make? Like, and he told me what he made, and I went, here, look, there you go, that's for you. And he grabbed it, and he went, nice one. I just walked out. I was like,
Did you
Brill.
hand him the money, or did
handed
you?
him 50 quid.
You didn't have a card with the money in it.
No, I didn't give him a card. What's he going to do with the card?
See, I'm with
You
Amy
need a
here.
card.
You need a card.
You need a
Andrew.
card.
You do. You may as well
You
just
need a
shove it in his pocket.
card.
That's not nice
I will
to
not
make
be.
fun of
I
people's
will not
accent
be.
now.
I will.
No, you
I will
stop
not
that
be
now.
lectured by
Yeah.
Northern Irish
Yes,
thinking
you
about
will.
Southern Irish
you will.
traditional values.
No, it's not
Do they not do
traditional.
cards?
Huh?
They not do cards?
They not do cards.
I don't do cards.
No, see, that's not
Yeah,
Southern tradition.
that's
That's
just you.
Andrew. That's Andrew's tradition. Northern Irish people give cards.
Yeah, you need a card.
So I give him a card with 50 quid in it.
Yes.
But you don't open the card, throw
I
the
know,
card
but-
away,
but
and
then
then
he
keep
might
50.
keep the card or put it up in the windowsill or whatever.
Is someone might put it in the attic for him and he finds it when he's 30 odd years old and goes, fucking remember Andrew give me
Yeah.
a card? What a weird. I mean, he's dead now.
There's no
Remember? He
record
might
of
do that. And
How did he die?
by giving cards.
By giving cards. Bankrupt.
he died on the way to get a card.
He died.
For
Why
someone.
fuck? No, he died. he became a chef when he was 42 and he died
Yeah,
in the
and
kitchen.
burned himself.
Burned
Yeah.
himself in the kitchen. But I find that fucking. You have to give a card.
Yeah.
We don't, look, I don't think you have to, but I think it's probably the best practice for exchanging money.
Well, do you know what? I know this sounds really weird to say, but if my mother was alive, she would have killed me for not giving him a card.
I'm sure.
Well, hey, that's for you from your mother there from up there, right?
Yeah.
Or no. But that's we don't know, Amy.
Can I just say your timing there was superb. It's fine. Amy's sitting here like,
I'm
watch
like in
it.
shock.
No, Amy, it's fine.
Amy, it's fine. It's fine, Amy.
Do you know what? For a whole year of working with him, I only found out last December that his parents were still together.
Yeah.
I actually thought.
He assumed my
I
parents were...
assumed that his parents were split up because of the way he is.
What as if he's had some troubled past?
Yeah. I said, like, the reason Aaron is the way Aaron is, he lives alone, has had a vasectomy, no girlfriend, doesn't want to get married, doesn't want to have kids, is because he probably thought his parents had a really bad marriage and he's
put you off.
and he's a single child. You're a single child as well, aren't you?
Yep.
And he's a single child, and therefore it's put him off. And it only took me a year to find out that his parents were actually still together. I always thought I was dealing with like a damaged child here.
It's because my dad used to just give me money with no cards in.
Yes.
And that really affected me. And
I
hope
think
no one
giving
else does
people
that.
money without cards is fine.
Okay. Look, put it up to you.
If they're kids,
Well,
maybe
you'd
if I go
rather
to a
that.
wedding, I'll buy a card.
Yeah. Okay. That's
But
a bit
like
better.
if it's a kid, mate,
Ah.
just give him the cash.
Yeah. I
okay.
suppose it's better than a card
The-
with no money.
The weird dynamic here is that
or
like
no money or card.
you guys are single children.
Yeah.
Now, can you tell me I'm the youngest of four. Okay, so tell me, what are the pros and cons, Amy and Aaron, of being a single child?
Lady goes first.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you get all the attention, but that's good and bad.
Okay, so give me an example.
You know, you
Give-
get
why is
all
it- why
you
is
get
it
all
good?
the attention in a good way.
So you feel loved.
Yeah.
You feel listened to.
Yeah, but then in a bad way that if anything ever goes wrong, it's only going to be me. I've no one to blame.
Can't get away with anything. Their
Yeah.
eyes are always on
Do
you.
you feel you lack resilience?
Well, more when I was younger, obviously, but no, it doesn't really make a difference. I
So
feel.
when you say you get all the attention, are you? How do I phrase this in the right way? So it's our single kids, single child kids.
Are they spoiled?
Would you say spoiled?
No, definitely not.
You're not spoiled.
Although some are, but I think you can go either way. You either
Yeah.
love your own company or hate your own company. As a,
where are
as a
you with
child.
that?
I hate my own company. I have to be with
Really?
people all the time. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm the complete opposite.
I love my own company.
So you can go either
I love
way,
my
I
own
think.
company. So you're that's your polar opposites.
Yeah.
Like if I was with somebody and they were like, "Oh, I need to be with you 24/7," I've broken up with people because they're like too
See,
clingy.
I'm quite cling. I am quite
Are you
cling.
clingy?
Yeah. I am quite
How many
cling.
messages do you send your boyfriend a day?
There's probably not a number on it. I'm sure it's
There's
just
probably not a
natural, is
number
it?
on it, but
But
it's
even
probably
if-
more like if there'll be a phone call every so often.
Okay,
Like,
can I ask you a question and be
better.
honest here now, right?
Okay.
I'm very interested in this because
Okay.
I'll tell you what it's like to be the youngest of four.
Yeah.
When you leave here, will you message your boyfriend to say, "Just did the podcast"?
yeah.
Whereas, or would you wait until you see him, say, when he's home from work at 6 o'clock and you sit down to have dinner, you go, "Oh, anyway, so today I met Andrew and I went and did a podcast with Andrew and Aaron."
Yeah.
Or do you have to tell him everything you do every couple of hours?
We're just sort of constantly chatting. We don't live together or anything, but it's just like constantly like there'll be a wee update every so often, but it's not like I'm like, "Oh, what hasn't replied in an hour," or anything. But yeah, like before I went in, I was like, "Oh, I'm just heading in to do the podcast now." Yeah.
I think you'd say, "Oh, have fun" or something like that.
It probably hasn't replied. I don't really care about that. I'll just message.
That's funny.
That's really interesting because I'm the complete opposite.
So you would say nothing all day?
You had nothing all day, and then at night have loads to talk about.
Yeah, well, it's not like we're chatting, but if I'm going to see him tonight, like, he doesn't need to be filled in on all the information.
I say, like, what are you doing today? I'm just busy.
Yeah,
doing a
but
bit of
I'm the
admin.
chatter. Like, obviously, I'm chatty, so he's quite quiet, and I'm just chat. Anyway,
And do you find that dynamic works in terms of the balance of, like, he's quite quiet, he listens, you do your thing together, you communicate, and you quite like that? Or do you want more? Or do you want him to be... Because if he was like you, it would just be too
I know
full
maybe
on.
it would be too much then. It would just be like all the time.
Interesting. What about you?
In what sense?
In sense, like, what do you... So the pros and cons are, like, you get a bit of attention.
Oh,
the
yeah,
cons
yeah.
are you need to be around people. What are your pros and cons?
Of being an only child?
Yeah.
Well, the pros were, you were well looked after. You felt a lot of love because, it was all aimed towards you. The cons are, your parents, you can't get away with anything because flipping, your parents are all over you. And also, in your teenage and later years, I would say, you sort of had to tell them everything you were up to. And it was like, I'm going out here, I'll be back at this time, or blah, blah, blah. And that was a wee bit like, why do I have to schedule everything? You know what I mean?
Because they've only got one kid.
Yeah,
Because
you're
that's
the
all.
oldest, you're the youngest, you're the middle child.
That's
you're
all
all
it is. Yeah. But look, I like the way things turned out. Like, and I enjoy my own company.
And did you have to get used to your own company? Did your parents work away or anything?
I don't think it did because, my dad was always working. So, like, I would usually just be me and mum in the house a lot. And then when I went to school, that sort of balanced out. And I went to school and made friends or whatever. And it was all fine. I integrated as a member of society, kind of. The vaguely 4 schools. I didn't. I pissed my pants in every one of them.
Did you go to 4 schools?
No.
Oh, right. I can't tell what he reads.
Yeah.
I know. I'm a terrible person. But I would go... Yeah, but my mum... I'm trying to think what I was saying there was about working. Dad would work a lot. And then I ushered in the Good Friday Agreement. But I when I was younger, like, I would always be... My mum... Basically, this is what my mum would do. I would wake up at ungodly hours when I was younger. Like 5 a.m. I was just awake, full of energy. Now, that was her fault because she would put me to bed at like 6 because she would like close the blind, be like, it's dark out, you go to bed now. So, which obviously was her...
Wants to get rid of you, mate.
She wanted to just have a wee wine and just...
Have a wine vibe.
Regret
every day.
That's it. Yep. Oh, believe me. And so I would get put to bed at the earliest of early hours, wake up fresh as a daisy at like 4 or 5 in the morning, and my mum would be half asleep, dragging me down the stairs. She would lie on the sofa with a duvet, sleeping, whilst I'd be serial TV just at 5 in the morning watching cartoons until I had to go to school. And then I remember... So then that gets me used to my own company, I think, because you're just spending so much watching TV or like playing video games or whatever else when I was younger, and then you would play with your own wee toys at Christmas time and stuff. Yeah. I just got so used to my own company when I was younger.
Can I ask you, both of you, have you ever asked your parents why they only had one child?
Yeah, well, I was actually IVF, so that's probably...
You're an IVF
why.
baby?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Cool.
Yeah.
So your parents were trying for a baby, obviously.
Yeah.
Didn't happen. They went through IVF. And can I ask you a question? Was it successful at the start, or were you successful in a longer... Did it take... Sometimes people can take a long time.
I think I was the first try, and then they tried it again, didn't work. But yeah, I was the first try, I think.
And
I got that right.
So... Did you ever say to them, would you not go and have another child and do IVF again?
No, I never even thought about it when I was younger, but it was quite new then. So Mum had to go over to London and everything. They didn't even do it here.
Right. And they just decided they just wanted one child.
Yeah, well, they both really like kids. Both my parents work in primary schools, so Dad's primary school principal, Mum's a primary school teacher. So that was another hard thing about being an only child with 2 teacher parents.
Oh. Right.
It was like,
so
you have to do well in school,
And did they teach you at all?
No.
Did you go to the same school that they
went
worked in?
to the same primary school that my mum taught in, but she didn't teach me. She teaches P3.
And did she give you a lift home and everything after school and
yeah.
stuff? Unbelievable. That's
crazy.
At least it wasn't later in life. That would have been too much.
So you're an IVF baby. What about your parents? Did they decide not to have any more kids or what?
You're an IVF baby. I'm a Smirnoff baby. My mum was 19, having the time of her life, and then I don't know, something happened, and then I ended
Your
up...
mum was 19 when she had you?
Well, she was 19 when she was pregnant, and then 20 was when the birth happened.
And with your dad?
But she was like, she basically, she says I was enough. She said,
"Did you everything you want?"
She said, "I probably shouldn't bring another one of these into the world." Was her thing, you know? Because like that's enough devil spawn to spread about the planet for one era.
And your parents were dating.
Look, I haven't asked too much about it. They were together at some point, and then the fucking
something happened.
The Big Bang, literally.
Right.
Or the weekend. I wasn't there. I was there, kind of.
I'm the youngest of 4. So I'm the baby in my family. When my mom was my age, right, she was married with 4 kids.
Which was normal.
At my age. And I used to have this joke. And so her stresses every day were feed the kids, educate the kids, run the house, pay the bills. My mum was a nurse. I remember her when I was really young that she used to work nights. For 8 years, 7 or 8 years, she worked nights. 8 to 8.
Jeez.
And she would come home from the hospital, say, 8:30 in the morning. And we would be going out to school. And some days, because of the amount of housework that was on, because of 4 kids to run a house, she wouldn't even sleep. And she would go to work that night at 8 o'clock again in the hospital and do 12 hours. She was a psychiatric nurse, so she was dealing with psychiatric patients. These weren't people that were just lying in bed at night time. These were people that were running around at 3 in the morning staring at the moon, like, you know, so she had a tough gig. But
I had to come home to you.
They should come home to me. When you talk about like the attention you get, I got away with so much.
Yeah.
And I mean this now, like when I actually look back, like, and I know it's different for kids, and we always said, my mother used to say to me, go out and be back at 8 o'clock. Get out of here and be back at 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
And we used to go to the green, we'd play football, and we'd be out from say 4 o'clock, we'd play football, we'd play tip to can, we'd play Kirby, we'd play head nods and volleys. You'd run up and down to the shop, you'd run in and out of the house, you'd run in, get a drink, run back out, run in, get a drink, run back out. Next thing you know, and my mother would, next thing at 8 o'clock, my mum used to come out to the gate, Andrew! Andrew! And you get in. I would have a bath twice a week. I would have a bath twice a week. They
Why
fucking
did you grow
wash.
up in the famine?
I'm telling you now, up until the age of about 4, up until the age of about 6 or 7, I would have a bath twice a fucking week.
Yeah.
And kids nowadays are being washed every 3 hours.
Yeah. I'm like that.
And I just found it. I just found it absolutely baffling.
Oh yeah.
But having siblings is really good fun.
Yeah, it would have been.
Yeah,
But the problem with having siblings is that, like, whenever... It's not the problem when you have siblings. It's like, you know, you grow up with them. Like, my sister, for example, grew up with 3 brothers, right? So she would be quite sort of, like, determined and vocal because she's a female and she wanted to get her voice heard amongst the 3 brothers and fighting and you know, boys and girls fighting and all that when you're young and fighting over stuff and all that. And she would have had a very different relationship with my mother than I would have had because she was the only girl.
Yeah.
You know, she would have had things where, like, oh, mum, you know, my mum and my sister would be out, they'd be doing their shopping. And
She got 3 baths.
she got 3 baths, yeah.
Yeah.
But you know what I'm saying. But now, as you get a bit older, like, I love the fact that you love seeing how my sister and my brothers, how their lives have developed. And even, like, and it's, when I go down to their house now and I can say, oh, geez, I talk to my niece and she's 15. I say, your mother used to go out and get drunk when she was 18.
Yeah.
And she's like, really? I'm like, yeah. Like the stuff your mother used to do before you were born. And she was like, I don't believe it. I'm like, you don't realise.
Oh, your mother was the town.
No, but you know what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah.
you can, and I love telling the nieces and nephews stories about their parents because they see their parents as like this figure that can't do anything wrong.
Yeah, that
It's
is what you think,
amazing.
though.
You're my protector. You feed me. You pay my bills. You love me. You nourish me. You grow. You know all of this stuff. And I'm like going, your dad's a fucking bollocks. Because when I was 17, he stole my fucking, you know what I mean?
You know all the secrets.
Bicycle or something like that. Like,
virginity.
You know?
What?
But you know what I mean? You know what I mean? So I do kind of think, do you ever like feel you're missing out?
Yeah, well, just because I like other company, but I just would have always had to have friends around, or like my parents were really good that way. They would have always, like, they brought some of my friends on holiday with us and stuff sometimes.
My parents did that. They brought a couple of my mates on holiday with me as my older brother, because there's a bit of an age gap between me and my older brothers.
Right.
So there was a segregation where they would be 18, 19 and I would still be 12, 13.
Oh, that's a hard
and
gap.
They just, the gap was too, it was too wide. So we go on a family holiday. There used to be 6 of us. Then as the 2 boys got older, there would only be 4 of us. because me and my sister, there's only a year and a half between us.
Yeah.
And then got to the point then where my sister didn't want to go, and I was still on the last year of...
You were still leeching off the
living
family holiday.
Yeah, and then it got to a point then where my parents then would just go on holiday on their own.
Yeah.
And they'd leave us at home.
Yeah.
And we'd fucking wreck the gaff.
Oh, yeah.
With the fights in the house.
Oh.
Fucking parties and smoking and, like just...
Mad life.
I remember once I got caught smoking when I was 15, right? My mum used to smoke, right? I could never remember seeing my mum smoking.
What was her cigarette of choice?
Silk
do you remember?
Blue.
Silk Cut Blue. So
Silk
did you
Cut.
follow suit?
So I tell you, I remember when I got caught smoking, I was about 15, right? And look, back in those days, we didn't have TikTok to distract us and stuff like that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we didn't have the stuff that we have today. My mum used to smoke 20 Silk Cut Blue. And I remember one day she was in the kitchen, she was doing a bit of ironing. And I went in and I said, I'm just going to run over to the shop there. And whichever way she was positioned in the kitchen, her bag was behind her. So I opened her bag and I took out a Silk Cut Blue. And I had a lighter. Because I used to one of my jobs when I was growing up as a kid was to light the fire. So I used to do all the fire lighters, the briquettes, the coal, I used to do all the fire was my...
That was your
What
job.
age were you starting that from?
So we all had jobs in our house as a kid, and mine was the fire and the coal, and I used to clean and hoover. And then, so my job would always be to kind of like... So my mum would come in and be like, Andrew, can you do the fire? I do the fire, right? Can you run up to the shop and get bread and milk, right? And then I'd get a treat, like, she might give me some money at the weekend, whatever. But I remember one day I got the Silk Cut Blue and I walked out the door, and instead of turning, so where you live is you have to turn right.
Okay.
The driveway is on the right-hand side from the door, but I went left, which was down the side of the house.
Oh.
And my mum never saw my reflection go right.
Oh.
So she thought, why hasn't he gone out?
Yeah.
So I go down the side and I light this cigarette. I'm maybe 15 at the time, 14, 15. And I go, couple of puffs. And next thing my mom comes out, but she took her shoes off. She sneaked up at me.
Wow.
And she turned around. I'd just taken a puff. And she just looked at me. She went, Andrew Ryan. And you know when they call you by your full
Oh,
name?
yes, you're in trouble.
Andrew Ryan. And I had the smoke inside my lung and I had to get rid of it. And I just went, yeah, what's up? And she went, get in here now. And I just went, yeah, right. So I come in. And that classic, you wait till your father comes
until your
home.
dad comes home. Oh.
She never told him.
Just the fear was enough probably to punish you.
Never told him. And she didn't know what to say. And she never said anything to me about it.
Did she not?
She never said anything. She just went disappointed. And there's nothing worse when your parents are disappointed.
Yeah.
Like your parents can be angry and pissed off. I'm just disappointed. Anyway, she never said anything. And then when I was 16, she let me smoke. I stopped smoking then. I smoked a bit in school and stopped smoking.
You
then,
don't smoke now?
No. But she was like, yes, smoke then. And the novelty of the excitement of the fear of it had worn off.
My man
See what I
would
mean?
have beat my bollocks
Oh,
in
I would have been dead.
if I was caught doing that at your age. I'd have got
Really?
a
Yeah.
slap round the cooping. Like,
What's the worst thing? Well, we'll ask you so, right? The two worst things you've done as single children. So, Amy, what is the worst thing you've done as a
I'm
single
so-
child that you remember that your parents were angry with you for like a couple of days?
I'm so embarrassingly good. I didn't really do anything.
You're so embarrassingly good.
Yeah, I was really good. I can't even think of anything.
while you do, I've got a few.
I feel like I can imagine you have a few.
I've got a few that and to be fair, I was quite young when they happened, so I was a little bit stupid. I'm still stupid, but anyway, one was I drank a whole bottle of Kelpol before, left unattended, and I just liked how it tasted, and I just drank the whole bottle, and then just told them, yeah, I've just drank that whole bottle, and then got ran to the Royal Hospital with my under her arms. And then the doctor goes, oh, right, well, he'll need to be sick in the next, like, sort of 10 minutes or we're going to have to pump his stomach, which involves, like, the tube getting inserted and blah, 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 blah. And my ma, as typical West Belfast woman, went, you're not pumping my child's stomach, and put her fingers down my throat, and I bulked up everywhere. And then this is all...
But you're not pumping...
Yeah, you're not pumping my child's stomach in the hospital. And then I just remember having to stay in the kids' play area for a wee while, and the good thing about that was it was a time of night where there was no kids in the play area but me, so I goes on the seesaw, the slide, there's a wee house and fucking teapots and I was playing with. If anything, it made me want to drink more Calpol, which wasn't it did good. Like,
It did taste nice, Calpol.
it was a coke. I'd do a line of Calpol off his hole right now if the option was there. I'm telling you that right now. I don't care who knows that.
Oh, I tell you something, I'd do a line of codeine off you.
Look, if you're looking to
Codeine is
swap,
the
we'll do.
best. Amy, when you get a bit
I've
older,
got your
codeine
back.
is your real friend.
Yeah.
Oh.
And then one time my granny got new carpet laid down in her house, and they left an iron in the room. I turned the iron on and started ironing the carpet. And I ironed a whole floor of carpet. But again, I didn't really get in trouble for it because they did leave me unattended with an iron and a new carpet, and they had to replace Granny's carpet.
How old was your mum at this stage? 23, 24?
Yeah,
How old
yeah.
were you? We doing this 5 or 6?
4 or 5.
So your mum was what,
6.
24, 25?
Oh my god.
Imagine having a kid at 24, 25.
I know. I can't even imagine.
Especially this
why.
one.
Yeah,
Good
especially
luck.
you.
Good luck.
Even at
the
5
problem
years-
child.
No, I think your mum brought you to the vasectomy. I don't think you actually got the vasectomy.
It was government ordered.
It was
to be
government
fair,
ordered.
it's the first one in the country.
He's had a vasectomy.
You've
isn't he?
actually had a vasectomy then.
Yeah, I'm as fertile as that tin.
So you just were definite now. You're never going to change your mind. Well, you can't now, I suppose.
Do you want kids, Amy?
100%, yeah.
But would you want one or would you want more than one?
I'd want 2, which is funny.
Two's a
Why
good
is
number, I
that?
think.
I don't know. I've just always thought that. I've just always
'Cause
thought
the
2.
first one's
I don't
shit,
want
the second
loads
one could
though,
be
and
good.
definitely don't want loads.
And have you spoken to your fella about this?
Yeah, he knows. He wants kids too, but like no time soon.
Those are good
Definitely.
chats to have, I think, as a couple.
As very early on.
It isn't
Yeah,
like
yeah.
it isn't like a big serious chat though. There was no point
No.
where we're like, right, well,
No.
what do
Well,
you
you are
want?
still youngish too. I think
Yeah.
in our age, it's probably almost like a first date question
Oh,
almost.
Is it?
in my
Oh, yeah.
My
Yeah.
first questions are, what's your credit score?
Yeah. The classics. But yeah.
Do you
it's-
actually ask people that and they actually have to answer?
No, no.
Don't, Amy,
Not the
it's a
credit
joke.
score. Not the
This
credit
is the
score.
thing, like,
I wouldn't be that surprised. I don't
if I
know.
went on a date now with someone and they were like, I'd be like, oh yeah, so you live at home, right? How old are you? 38. You still living at home?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. But I'm got the point now where it's like, say I'm 40, and
No, not say. You are.
I'm 40. Yeah.
There's no. There's no say. I'm 40. You're 41.
But I don't
my man.
look 40 though, do I?
No,
You
actually
look
don't
well
look
for
40.
I
41.
look about 35 though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually thought you were early 30s when I met you.
But always think that though.
Yeah.
But always think that. You don't have to change that.
No, you do, Amy. You need
You don't
to
have,
starting
you,
today.
you can just look at me from now on and be like, oh, he's in his early 30s. He's 40, but he's in his early 30s.
Yeah, okay.
Like the law says I'm 41.
Yes.
41. But
Yes.
but I identify as 32.
Yeah.
There you go.
And black.
There you
There
go.
you go.
He's a
Identify
32-year-old
whatever.
black man, and you'll not tell him differently, Amy, in this day and age. But yeah, no, yeah. As you get older, if you're like dating and stuff, the questions come right out the gate. Do you want
Really?
marriage? Do you want kids?
Yeah.
All this because
Suppose
you
it's important.
can't waste time, especially women. Women,
Yeah.
with their fucking eggs and all.
Can I ask you a question? Right. This is so. If you went on a date
Yeah.
with a 40-year-old man and he
Yeah.
wasn't married and he didn't have kids, would that be red flags for you?
No, depend on the circumstances.
I think that's green flags.
Yeah.
Good.
It'd be red flags if he had 2 kids with 2 different women or something
Yeah,
like that.
and like
that's
4
red flags.
marriages in the past. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
red
yeah.
flags. Like, why has it gone wrong? Maybe just-
Divorces, engagements, like those are more
I've
red
never
flags.
been engaged, never been divorced.
Well,
never
if you
been
had
nothing.
at 40, I wouldn't think that was weird. You know,
No,
it
it's
wouldn't
not
be
as
like,
weird.
Huh?
It's not too bad. It's not too bad if you've been engaged at 40 and separated. I'm not saying you have.
No.
Just saying. Like,
but if you had, you wouldn't be surprised. You know, like it could have happened easily, and it's
Yeah.
not a red flag or a green flag, really.
yeah.
Yeah, because I feel sometimes people are going, there must be something wrong with you if you've got to 40
Yeah.
and you're not married and no kids.
Yeah.
No.
Like I'm very fully aware that I'm just a very average bloke, very average 5 out of 10 looking fella.
Mm-hmm.
My dimples probably bring me up to 6.
Sometimes, yeah. Yeah.
And when I work out, you know,
Yeah.
I,
and you get a good skin and hair day.
When I get a good skin and hair day, and I
Yeah.
get the abs looking good, and you know, I'm eating protein
Or just looking.
just looking. I'm not doing too bad at the moment, man.
yeah, you're right.
But I think, like, what I thought I've always wanted. So, do you know what? This is the crazy thing about this. I was out having lunch with friends of mine, and I was talking. They're married a couple of years, and they're an amazing couple and really great people. And we were talking about this, and she said to me, she said, Andrew, when I was in my 20s, people would say to me, like, what's on your list of requirements for a man, right? She said, I want a guy that can drive. I want a guy that's got a stable job, doesn't have any tattoos. She married a guy that can't drive, has tattoos, and has a very unstable job because he works in the arts.
Yeah.
wow.
And she said, what I thought were my tick lists were not what I ended up with. And she
Yeah.
said, I've never been happier.
You don't know, I suppose.
Just shows you.
Just goes to show.
Do you want to have kids?
Oh, Amy, you've
That's a big
opened up
question.
Pandora's box now.
I'm interested.
Yeah. Look, it's a good question you ask him.
Well, it's not a definite no then.
I'm leaning.
It's not definite
I'm
yes either.
I'll be honest with you. I'm 60-40 in favour.
Yeah.
Not a great outside.
But it's hard. I think it's hard to imagine it. To
I'm
be fair.
60. Do you know what? When I was feeding my niece her breakfast the other morning, and she was in her little night pajama thing, and she was sitting at the table, and I'm putting the bloody Wheatos into her mouth, and I'm like, "You enjoying that?" She's like, "Thank you."
Oh,
And
pretty
then
nice.
she started running around playing with her buggy, and then I come over and said, "Give me a hug," and she gave me a hug, and I was just like, and then I put her up. I kind of like started throwing her up. She's only a year and a half. I was like doing all this baby stuff with her, like, and she's like, "Yeah," and then she just went for shit.
Ah, rude.
And did that?
How dare she?
Was that
And
a
then I just
pro or
got
a
it. I
con?
just looked at my niece, my aunt, my niece. I looked at my sister-in-law, and I just went, "There you go."
Yeah.
Yeah, that's enough then.
And then they disappear for about 5 minutes, and then she comes back in all happy again.
Yeah.
And it's the work you don't see.
Yeah.
That's
See, that's
to
why
me.
I'm
I'm
not ready.
scared about the work you don't see.
Yeah.
Well, yes. Look, having a kid is full time.
Yeah, like your whole life has to go. Right.
Whole
So at
life.
the minute, our lives are about us. It's just us, really. It's just about
Yeah,
us.
That's
but I
why I
like
like
that.
And then
though,
it's
Amy.
not.
It's great, isn't it?
Well, then then that means you're 60-40 not having a kid.
But then you're 60. This is the problem. I'm
not creating any problems.
And it's your fault.
This is all you.
I'm 64. But 64. Then just like going around to fucking bingo halls. Here, I've got my own house. Not married. Never had any kids. There's nothing wrong with me. Just waiting for the right woman. Do you know what I mean?
But look, who says you have to end up with someone?
Yeah. Because we all know Aaron, isn't it? Won't be in a relationship, right?
No, not even a relationship. It was someone who doesn't want kids.
Look, here's the thing. Who knows what the future has in store for this guy
I think
right
you're
here.
going to meet somebody soon
Yeah,
and
but-
completely change the way you are, and you're
Do you-
going to go and try and get that vasectomy reversed.
Do you want to know something?
What?
People have been saying that to me for 10 years.
I'm-
Yeah.
Genuinely.
But you're
Genuinely.
like a classic rom-com where they're like, no.
I'm a foster boyfriend. I'm like the goo. I'm the guy that transitions you into your new life.
So
you know
you
what
do.
I mean?
So you do
You
date
date
people.
him before you get married.
I'm
Yeah.
good
You have to
luck
fun
shots.
with him before you settle for the sofa.
Yeah, you
Well, it's
come
not
out of
for
a
you.
relationship, you're all fucking, I need to rebound here.
And then you're there,
Hey, I'm here.
but not for long.
Vasectomy in hand. It's all good. And then that's it.
Amy, what are the people in the 20s nowadays looking for?
Rimmed.
No,
Sorry.
Sean.
Sorry,
Cut that out.
Sean, keep on it.
Cut that out.
Sean, don't you dare.
Why?
Why?
Okay.
Why? What's wrong with that?
Fucking hell. Jesus Christ.
It's just fun.
I know. Amy,
Aye.
what are apart
What are
from
they
being, apart from
looking
being around? Amy, what are the things?
I'm not commenting on that.
No, you don't have to. Absolutely don't. Amy, do not. Do not, because I will get in trouble.
Amy, what are the things that 20-year-olds are looking for?
Really different.
Nowadays.
But like you were saying, like loads of people don't want to have kids and loads of people want to have kids later. So like, yeah, I'm saying I want to have kids, but like back in the day, people would have had all their
Is-
kids by my age.
let me
Like,
ask
I'm
you
only
this.
25.
That's a good point.
Let me ask you this. Is there social media thing for people?
What do you mean?
If you meet someone, you're going to go, oh, I need to see what they're like on social media before
Yeah.
I date them.
Oh, yeah.
Although, well, I don't want to be stereotypical, but like, you don't really, like if it's a guy, if they're too much on social media, if it's all selfies and all, no.
Wow.
But they need to be on social media just because I like social media, so.
So, like, what I do with my social media is I just do work stuff. So I put
Yeah.
up clips, work. Very rarely you'll see you won't you.
There's no topless photos.
Yeah, it's not like posy gym
There's
pics.
no gym
Like, I'm not going to be
progress pics.
moody
Yeah.
in front of a laptop going
Yeah.
creating.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah.
It's literally, here's a bit of comedy. Come to this fucking show. Here's the podcast.
Yeah,
link.
that's fine.
See you later.
Functional stuff.
Functional.
That's a good word.
You're a
functional.
functional social
Yeah.
media.
But when you met your fella, does he talk? Is he on social media?
Yeah.
And does he do a lot, or does he just minimal?
Just sort of normal. Like, he doesn't take photos of himself. Like, if there's a photo from a holiday, it's up, you know, like just.
or if he
the
sees a
odd
nice
thing.
view, he'd be like currently in France having a great time. kind
Yeah,
of
and like a story or something. Just sort of
Does
the odd
he?
thing.
Does he? Because of your social media, does he comment on yours? You're like, Amy, why'd you put that up for? Like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? That could cause,
Oh, I wouldn't
cause
like that.
friction.
Yeah,
in
that could.
relation-
Yeah, and I know loads of people, like, not me, but like people will be like, why are you liking this photo, or why are you doing this, or why are you following this person? Like, it would cause quite a lot of havoc. And now, like, if you look back, like, we'll have our whole relationship history on your social media.
This is another thing,
Yeah.
isn't it, Aaron, about putting people up on your social media?
Yeah.
I never put anyone up on social media.
So you know, and you never will.
I will, but like very.
Does it have to be really deep?
It would have to be like we're proper.
Me neither.
And it's not because I don't want the person to be on it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's because I've seen people go, you know, they date someone for a month and the next thing they have fucking 20 pictures of them up, and we're in the background going, I know him.
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm going to give this about another month.
And then you can see how long it
And
lasts.
then everything is deleted, and next thing, all that goes up there is a quote.
Oh, right.
All that goes up is a quote. It's just like going to go,
If you
now
don't
I know who
yeah.
my real friends are. And he goes, what's for you won't pass you.
Yeah.
And it's like, and it goes, oh, when will I ever learn to trust again? And it's like so fucking tragic.
Yeah, you can't be
like,
putting up the quotes.
people, have a word with yourselves. Keep your privates. Keep a bit of mystery about you.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what I think is very
Well,
important
yeah,
on
fair
social
enough,
media.
yours is work.
Keep a bit of mystery about you.
But is there a situation where if you were dating someone and they go, why am I never on your
Yeah.
page? There's a bit of that. Like if you,
Oh,
like, you
100%.
think they're hiding something, Amy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But I get shouted at by friends and stuff like that, and flipping, and some people being like, why did you not give me a birthday shout out? No. And I'm like, I could give zero fucks about shouting anyone's birthday out or fucking what, you know what I mean? Like like you, I kind of keep mine functional where clips, fun stuff, silly shit.
Promoting a gig.
Yeah.
If something wacky happens, that I can have a little bit of a rant for 30 seconds, and I think it's funny, and I think
Yeah.
people will relate to it.
Yeah.
Very rarely will I do that. Or one thing that I do like doing is, like I'm a big coffee fan.
Yeah.
So I like having coffee, and you know, if I go to a regular place out in Hollywood, and I always kind of put a picture up with them, and you know, it's just because I love coffee, and this is a good coffee shop. I don't get, you know, just do it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But I don't. Like last night, I put a thing up and he sent me a very funny message.
Yes,
Right.
we could talk about that.
So I was watching the Ireland-France game, which we were phenomenal, by the way. I don't know if you saw it, Ireland-France.
What, soccer, football?
Soccer, yeah. We lost 1-0 to France, but we were brilliant. And I know we lost, and you're celebrating failure. No, it's about progress. Anyway, I took a picture of the TV, and next to the TV is my guitar, which I can play about 3 songs.
Yes, I noticed that, actually.
And my weights.
He has a guitar.
And the weights, yeah.
I messaged him going, ladies, I lift and play guitar.
Yes, that's true. There'll be
And I
something to
actually
do with
never
a chef.
thought of that when I put it up. And then I was like, oh, fuck, is that cheesy? So
I did actually
A
notice
few
those
hours later, I
weights
just
as well.
See?
but you weren't the only one to comment on it.
Okay,
And I had to
okay.
reply, those things haven't been lifted for a long time. Like, you know what I mean? So and then I was just like, anything with sport, if I put anything up with sport, I tend to take it down quite quick.
Yeah.
I don't like to flood Instagram with sports stuff. It's very divisive.
So you take
sport,
it
you know?
down, yeah.
So I put it up for a bit. Like if I'm in the mood, I'm getting excited about the game, and the game's about to start, and I know other people will be watching it. They might message me like, "Oh, we're going," and you kind of go, "Oh yes, we're all in this together now, and we watch it." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I was so excited about watching Ireland, and then so it was great. Like, but I do get conscious a little bit about that. Like, you know, and I've always, if you go through my thing, like I've never put anything up, you know.
Yeah.
Never put anything up. And it's just always been that way. Like, but there'll come a point where that, you know, I will, or I'll do stories or something like that. Like,
Yeah.
but I try to keep it. I'm trying to grow my social media now and get better at it. But I also like the fact that it's not brilliant. You know, the way you can have your social media can be too polished.
Too perfect, yeah.
And I look at them and I go, oh fuck that, it's too clean. I'm somebody that's like a bit rough around the edges. Bit
Yeah,
like
like
my
you've just got
my
the
comedy's
camera,
quite
right?
rough around the edges. Do you know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
So, Amy went to her first ever Empire
Yes.
comedy club.
Okay, how long ago?
Last week.
Just
Last
who was
Tuesday,
on?
wasn't it?
Who was on?
Tell us about it. Come on.
Oh, it was really good,
I'm
yeah.
one of the resident MCs there.
Yeah.
He wasn't on that night.
No, he wasn't on, but
that's a
you
good
were
night.
supposed to be on or something, weren't you?
I was asked to be on. Someone dropped out last minute, and I couldn't go because, you know what, I was power hosing me drive, and I missed the call.
I could have
there
done
you
it,
go.
but
You could have done. So tell me, what did you think of the Empire
It was
Comedy
really,
Club?
really good. I've only been to Empire for a drink. I've never been to that. I can't believe I haven't been to it. It was
have you been to
class.
any other comedy clubs?
No. Apart from
Just
you know
Empire?
the Copeland Distillery.
I did there before.
I used to work there. I wonder were you there when I was working there? You probably were.
I might have been actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's lovely.
Yeah, it's
Oh
good.
wow! You haven't did Copeland yet, have you?
No,
I
is
get
it-
Dave to hit you up.
Yeah.
It's great. Yeah, it's
really good?
it's lovely. We gig.
Who's hosting? Paddy.
Yeah, he
So-
was really good.
Yeah, and what did you think of the whole comedy night? Like the whole.
It was class, and
Yeah.
like I didn't have a drink or anything like you're saying. Like I was driving, and it was
She's
grand.
go she does the radio at 7.
Yeah.
I was doing it at 6. She gets out at 6, out of bed at 6, and I was getting out of bed at 5. Part timer here, like
That's another reason.
part timer.
Yeah, but every day you weren't even doing the Friday.
All right, Amy, but I...
Yeah, Amy, tell him.
Yeah.
Tell him, Amy. Part-timer.
But that's because I had to go to work.
No.
I was only in for a bit of fun.
I couldn't imagine doing a late night and then getting up that early and being on form.
It was good fun when we did it, didn't it?
It was really good fun.
No.
No, he didn't.
Oh,
it was good. We had a good laugh, didn't we?
Yeah, it was class.
I think I did quite well on it.
I can't review.
Every time I
You
say,
didn't even listen.
anytime I say anything positive, I was watching his reaction.
same.
I just sitting there going, "Come on, now, Aaron."
Can't say anything. I didn't see it or listen to it or whatever. I hope it was great, but that's all I can do.
Yeah,
It's good fun.
do you enjoy it? It is good
Absolutely
fun.
love it. Yeah.
Well, Amy, your food blog. Where could people read your food blog?
So Instagram, so it's Sips and Tips. That's what it's called.
Sips and tips.
That's a great name for a calf. Or
That's my new
Tinder.
That's my new Tinder name.
Sips and Tips.
And it's two different things. What yours is.
But I think Sips and Tips is a great name for even a coffee shop.
Yeah,
How did
would
you
it
come
be?
up with that name?
I just came up with it. I can't remember.
You just at home sipping and tipping, and you were just like, "Fuck it!" Like,
Yeah.
And so Sips and Tips, and you go out, you take pictures, and you kind of do reviews.
Yeah, but I think I'll keep my normal Instagram, just me, and then more maybe the radio stuff and things like that now, because I want to keep that going and get into that sort of side of things too.
I have a question. Sorry.
Okay,
While
go.
we're on the radio stuff, is it mandatory if you work on the radio to put radio in your Instagram username?
No, I just did it because I was so excited. I don't know if it is.
I didn't know if it was like a thing where they were like, "We need you to
in your
say
username?
radio."
Oh, well, it's not.
It's not
Like,
your
like,
username.
Mine's just Amy Mcguckin.
You know why you get like people who are like Jerry Radio official
Yeah,
or
I've
whatever.
noticed that. I don't know. I haven't been told that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you can just keep your name.
I think so.
That's
Yeah,
grand. Okay.
I wouldn't change my name.
I wasn't sure if it was like a thing where you had to be like,
No,
you
no,
know.
no. They have no control of your private social media, radio
I don't think
stations.
so,
They have
no.
no control.
It's your own stuff.
It's your own stuff. Ladies and gentlemen, joined by the lovely Amy and Aaron as well. Thank you very much for tuning in to Cork and the North podcast this week. Hope you do really appreciate listening in. And we learned a lot of things today about people and single child syndrome and the issues that come with that, because two very deeply affected people here.
Yeah.
who
Well,
are
at least
clearly-
we give cards to people that we give money to.
True,
and
very,
that's,
very
you know,
true.
at least we're civil like that because we were raised properly. At least we didn't smoke silk cut out the back of an alleyway at 15 because we were raised properly. It's fine. At least.
Your mom is still in my DMs, just so his mom's in my DMs. You know that?
His mum's dead, so that's.
No, that's fine. It's fine.
That is fine. Yeah, you can't go his mum's about and then I can't say anything about his mum. She's dead. No, I can. She's dead, Amy. She's dead. And we're sad about it, but it's fine.
Yeah, it is. She still is in my DMs. It's fine. Ladies
Yeah,
and gentlemen,
yeah.
Cork and the North podcast. Thanks so much to everybody who tuned in, listened in. Also, please sign up to the Patreon. And also, if you're in the North and you listen to the radio, please tune into Q Radio in the mornings.
Yes.
6 to 10 with Decky and Amy on The Breakfast Show. I used to do that. And...
Wow.
I used to do that. And so Amy is also, you will be seeing Amy a little bit more around the podcast as well, because she's going to be coming on board with this podcast in terms of helping out with the live shows and the Instagram and all that malarkey. So Amy is going to be becoming part of the team here in Cork the North. So please do give her a follow on Instagram, also her food blogging page. Also, Aaron, where are we with your show in Lavery's?
30 some tickets left. AaronButlerTickets.com. Bank holiday weekend, 7th May. Lavery's. Come watch The Real King.
Come watch it. And I'm going to be there as well performing.
Andrew will be there.
And also, as well as, there may be a few tickets being released next week for my final show at the Black Box Theatre, which is sold out.
Oh boy.
And is also being filmed to be released as a special in May. So please do stay tuned and keep an eye on my Instagram if you do follow me. Thank you so much to everybody that likes, shares and subscribes. Give us money.
Slán Gowalia.
Slán Gurmila. Could you speak Gaelic, Amy?
No.
Never be back.
That's the end of you.
That's it.
Thanks very much, Cork. Cheers, guys. Sign up to the Patreon.